What up, world? Welcome to another edition of Rage Reviews. Today, we just gonna get right into it. We talking about X-Men 97, the return of my childhood. X-Men 97. Let's tap into it. Do me a favor. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. Anyway, we on YouTube now. What are you doing? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Like I said, this is another edition of Rage Reviews. Today we're talking about the first two episodes, 1 and 2, of X-Men 97, the return of my childhood. Like I said in the intro, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous when they announced that they were doing this. I was intrigued, but I was nervous at the same time. And just to see what they've done with this show. I feel like anybody who's a fan of X-Men, the animated series, has to be a fan of this show. Just the way they're handling everything in the first two episodes was just so thorough, so thought out. It's right in line with where they left off when the original series ended. Man, just picks up right there. Still the 90 flair, the 90 fashion, the animation style. It's a little animation style. I've heard mixed reviews about it. Me watching it personally, I didn't really like it when I saw the trailer, but after watching the first two episodes, it kind of grew on me. So it's just like kind of like, I could dig it. You know what I mean? It's like a new take on old school animation. So respect. Man, first of all, to come out the gate swinging the way they came out the gate swinging with these first two episodes is just beautiful. The way they're showcasing each and every X-Men, man, it's just dope. It's like they're giving everybody little moments. And shout out to Cyclops. I thought I would never say that. But shout out to Cyclops, man. He really, they showed out with Cyclops. Like, I was never ever a fan of Cyclops. From comics to the animated series, he just never really did it for me. But the way they portraying him in the first two episodes of X-Men 97, and hopefully throughout the rest of the series, is, bruh, Cyclops is that guy. He is that guy. The way he showed up on the scene, talking junk and beating up the Friends of Humanity, bruh, it was just dope. Before we go any further though, because there's no way I can talk about these two episodes without a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the first two episodes and you don't want them spoiled, do not continue to watch this video. Go watch the first two episodes, then come back and finish watching this video, because we're going to talk about it. Spoiler warning. Now let's get into it. So like I said, the way he showed up on the scene, scrapping with the Friends of Humanity, using the optic blast to maneuver as a way of maneuvering through the battlefield was fire. We all figured Cyclops had hands, you know what I mean? Because he was supposed to be the leader, you know what I mean? But the way they showcased his hands and his maneuverability with his optic blast was just fire. So kudos to them, man. Kudos to Disney, kudos to Marvel. This is how you do X-Men. This is how you come back with the X-Men. Like this is how you handle them. This is how you handle them correctly. And first of all, we already know Kevin Feige, when he got his start with Marvel Studios, and well, before there was a Marvel Studios, as far as like the MCU, he started working on the Fox X-Men franchise, and he was behind the scenes working with them. And so to see his love and care for the characters of the X-Men, like you feel it with X-Men 97. Like you just feel that the X-Men are in good hands with X-Men 97, and hopefully whenever they come into live action, they'll be handled with the same care, because right now they are blossoming. The first two episodes, they blossomed. Like, just the opening shot, them raiding the warehouse for the Friends of Humanity, the FOH. It's funny because when I see FOH, I don't think of Friends of Humanity. I think of the other acronym for FOH. If you're from New York, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, just to see Storm come through, use her powers, and use them efficiently, and not pass out afterwards. That was a big complaint for me as a kid. Knowing that Storm was an Omega level mutant, but she would pass out after like 5 minutes of the fight over using her powers. That used to bug the heck out of me. Her and Jean Grey used to piss me off, because why are y'all are Omega level mutants? Why are y'all passing out every 5 minutes into a fight? We need y'all. Why are y'all passing out? It's not making sense. The math ain't mathing. Why are you passing out 5 minutes into the fight? We just got here. I'm talking just pulled up. Why are you now incapacitated? It doesn't make sense. But I feel like they're correcting that with X-Men 97, because they gave Storm a few spotlights. When she was fighting the Friends of Humanity, came through, and when she pulled up on the Sentinels. When they pulled up on the Sentinel, well, technically the Sentinels pulled up on them, but when they were going to find Master Mode and Trask, and the Sentinels pulled up on them, first of all, that sequence was fire. They snatched, not only did they destroy the the X-Wing, they snatched Cyclops out of the plane. He destroys the Sentinel, and one swivel of his head destroys him with an optic blast. Calls the team as he's free falling, and is like, "Yo, make sure y'all get everybody that can't fly." And he was like, "Everybody that can't fly, get everybody who can't fly." And he was like, "All right, bet, we got you." So they go catch everybody, and he's just like, "All right, bet." I'm just gonna go ahead, fall to the floor. I don't need no parachute, and uses his optic blast to soften his fall, or to slow up his fall and soften his landing, and just landed like a boss, and then hits him with the line, "To me, my X-Men. That's how you come back. That's how you come back." That's all I'm saying. Bro. That's how you come back. That's how you come back and show that you ain't playing with nobody in the series. Like, that was so epic. The way they just structured that whole sequence, that whole scene. Then they pull up on the Sentinels, and the Sentinels going crazy. They starting to get overwhelmed a little bit. Next thing you know, Cyclops calls out for Storm, and then you hear the Sentinel say, "Omega level threat incoming. Omega level threat incoming." First of all, Storm shows up like one of the illest bosses ever, with a whole thunderstorm, glass, lightning storm, tornado, just wrecking shop with the Sentinels. Then Master Mode tries to they finally get the Master Mode, he tries to pull up with Trask, and nah, they wasn't having none of that. Beast ends up taking over a Sentinel, and using that Sentinel to beat up other Sentinels, and nobody attacked that Sentinel. You could just see the teamwork and the effort that they put into their teamwork, and then the just effortless way that they just destroyed. They just ran through them jokers, man. It was crazy. That sequence was fire. Then Master Mode tries to come out of nowhere and get some hits in. Next thing you know, Gambit's on the back of Wolverine, heats up his claws, and Wolverine launches off of Morph, who has now transformed into the Blob, and straight slices Master Mode's head off. And that was in the Master Mode. That was such a dope sequence. It was so fire. It was so dope. And bro, episode 1 was just dope. We got to see Sunspot. We got to see him him just kind of coming face to face with reality as far as like how much mutants are being persecuted and different things like that, and having Jubilee, who started the original X-Men, the animated series, being hunted down. She was there to just really like kind of relate to him in his time of crisis, and just understanding what he was going through. And it was just, man, it was such a good show. It was such a good episode. The first 2 episodes were fire. Episode 1 ends with, of course, the reveal of Magneto, having the last will and testament, coming to the mansion and having the last will and testament of Charles Xavier, who is no longer with the team, and the world thinks he's died. And the X-Men are trying to move on and navigate how they're going to navigate life. Jean is pregnant, and Cyclops and Jean are talking about leaving the team just to be able to raise their son. And Magneto comes in and he's just like, yeah, I got the last I got the last will and testament of Charles, and he's gifted me the team. So now the X-Men are mine. And he says it so sinisterly. He just, yeah, to me, my X-Men. It's just like, yo, the way he just pulled up on the scene, the way he just, first of all, Magneto's new fit, fire. His old fit is iconic, first of all. The red and purple was iconic, but the new fit with the big M on the joint, and got the shoulders out, got the arms out, got the sleeves on the. If Magneto ain't gonna do nothing else, he gonna pull the fit off. You know what I mean? He gonna pull that fit off, and he did just that. He pulled that fit off. But yeah, man, episode 1, 10 out of 10. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because it was just phenomenal, man. That's how you come back from a 30-year hiatus. That is how you do it. You come back from a 30-year hiatus with 2 fire episodes, bro. 2 fire episodes back to back. We dropping heat, fresh out the gate. So many Easter eggs, so many sneak peeks. You gotta watch it, man. If you don't watch nothing else on Disney Plus, you gotta watch X-Men 97. That's all I'm saying. Episode 2 starts right where episode 1 left off. Magneto coming through with the last one of the testament. Oh, y'all work for me now. What's good? Of course, nobody's pleased with that because Magneto has been a long-time enemy of the X-Men. He was a long-time friend of Charles. They know that, but they also know Charles and Magneto's ideals are on polar opposites. You know what I mean? He feels like mutants shouldn't try to lower themselves to be on an equal playing field with humans, and Charles feels like peace is the way to go. And of course, throughout the years, there's been some parallels to Malcolm and Martin, and just how their ideals were separate but coincide. It's kind of a surface level comparison between Magneto and Charles Xavier. But man, there's a lot of the episode 2 was very, very story driven, but it was a good, when you come out the gate with episode 1 and it's just action, and then episode 2 you end on the cliffhanger on episode 1 and you come in episode 2, story, still some action, still had some fights, still had some dope fights and some dope fight sequences. Very story driven though, and it was good though. It was really good. Episode 2 was really good, and just seeing how Magneto is trying to adjust to the team. Of course, like I said, nobody's really that trusting of Magneto because it's just like, you've been our enemy for a long time. Can we really trust you? You fought us. We fought against you. Can we really trust you? Or are you just going to screw us over? Because that's how we feel. Of course, Cyclops don't trust him. He was the leader of the team. Now Magneto's coming through with this paperwork saying, yeah, y'all got 30 days. My rule actually starts today, but y'all got 30 days to evacuate the premises if y'all don't agree with the way I run things. So it's just like, man, just seeing how this story is developing, and just seeing Magneto just trying to show them that he's trying to do right for Charles. Seeing as how Charles isn't here anymore and how he's trying to turn over a new leaf, but at the same time, I'm still that guy. I still don't play when it comes to my X-Men. When it comes to my mutants. So yeah, just seeing how the story is developing, and just seeing the different things. We see the Friends of Humanity, of course, protesting and just rioting and different things. And then, lo and behold, the government pulls up to the X-Mansion, and they're like, "Yeah, we want Magneto. We want Magneto right now." And instead of fighting, Like he instead of fighting back like his old inkling would normally do, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and surrender. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave the X-Mansion. I'm gonna go ahead and surrender. We can have this little trial, whatever y'all talking about, whatever y'all trying to do. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. So I ain't gonna come full force against y'all, even though y'all coming full force against me. I get it. I got a pass, but I'm trying to change. So I'm gonna go ahead and surrender. So he surrenders. They end up trying to put him on trial. Of course, while they're putting him on trial, the Friends of Humanity come through and all out chaos breaks loose. Right when the fight starts, Jean goes into labor, and of course Cyclops takes her out of there and takes her to the hospital. And then all Scott trying to do is be a good husband and be a good father. He gets his wife to the hospital, he gets Jean Grey to the hospital. The doctor is like, man, I ain't delivering no mutant babies. Y'all can lose control of y'all powers in the midst of labor. I ain't finna die today. Bless God for Rogue, though. Shout out to Rogue. She was the MVP of episode 2, when you think about it. Because had she not been at the hospital and had she not took the doctor's powers and memories, had she not took the doctor's memories and knowledge, you know what I mean, they would have been in a little pickle with Jean being in labor. So Rogue was able to get the nurses together and go ahead and deliver baby Nathan, aka Cable. And they were able to handle that. And while all that was going on, like I said, all hell broke loose at the hearing for Magneto, and it was a dope fight sequence. You had the X-Men fighting against the Friends of Humanity, and then you had Magneto protecting the humans that were trying to put him on trial, while also defending himself from the Friends of Humanity who were trying to actually low-key kill him and get him up out of there. But then you had Magneto and Storm just kind of handling their business and kind of handling everything. Then Storm, they do like this combo attack to try to separate everybody, to calm everybody down. And Storm notices on her peripheral while she's in the earth that it's this dude with this weapon charging up, trying to shoot at Magneto. So of course, her being the dope X-Men and Omega level threat that she is, she goes in, Magneto, get out the way. Goes in to save Magneto, ends up getting shot herself. And then through the midst of her taking that shot and trying to recover, she realizes she can't feel her powers no more. And seeing not only a mutant that he knows and has known for years and knows is super strong and knows that she's never done anything to harm humans and she's only done things to protect them, get sidelined and get her powers taken away. And knowing that they were coming for him and she saved him, and now because she saved him, now she doesn't have any powers. Man, Magneto snaps. Surprisingly, he didn't kill nobody, but what he did, he could have killed a lot of people. So he ends up taking the people who had him on trial, as well as the dude who shot who tried to snipe him and ended up hitting Storm, takes them into the upper atmosphere of Earth, and just pretty much lectures him like, look, man, normally I'd kill you for doing some stupid stuff like this. Normally you'd be dead already. And as you can see, as you're in the upper atmosphere, I have the power to do so still. However, I'm trying to change over a new leaf, because my friend Charles Xavier would always say that peace is the route to go about. Don't make me let y'all down. I felt that when he said, "Don't make me let y'all down." Don't make this old Magneto pop back up, and then I'm gonna have to come for your head top. Cause, hey, y'all acting up right now. Y'all acting up. So don't make me have to come for your head top. Let's continue to let peace reign. So then he ends up letting them go. Like I said, surprisingly he didn't kill nobody. Because he had every right to want to go that route. They tried to kill him and they tried to take his powers away. And thanks to Storm, that didn't happen. And so everything gets settled. You end up finding out later in the news that they're going to actually let Genosha, which is a mutant island that Magneto established. It's pretty much like a safe haven for mutants. Is now going to actually get a seat on the United Nations. So now there'll be mutant representation in the United Nations, which is a big political step. And they'll probably hint to more of that throughout the story later on. But man, episode 2. The crazy part is we're still not done. Episode 2 ends on one of the wildest cliffhangers ever. Of course, Storm, now no longer having her powers, she goes to Beast to see how long she's going to be without her powers. And Beast, based on the test that he runs, says it looks like this is going to be permanent. It don't look like this is going to wear off. And of course, that breaks Storm's heart, shocks everybody in the room, and she ends up not knowing really how to deal with that because she's had powers ever since they've manifested. She's always had her powers. So usually with most mutants, their powers manifest when they're in their teens. So we're talking about she's in her 30s now, or either in late 20s, early 30s now. Like, you can't, that's a long time. And when your identity is an X-Men, and that's been a part of who you are, and now you no longer have that. So she ends up leaving the team, leaving a letter to Jean, explaining why she left. And because Jean talked to her earlier in the episode, explaining that she was thinking about leaving with the baby and with Scott, so they could be a family and raise their son. And so she left a letter for Jean. Jean gets the letter. Jean reads the letter. As Jean's reading the letter, and her and Scott are preparing to leave, they get a knock on the door. Morph opens the door. Morph has a fire design now, by the way. He no longer looks homeless. Now he looks more mutant-y. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. He opens the door and it's a distressed Jean Grey saying, "I need the X-Men." And so of course he catches her and he's like, "Jean?" And then turns around. Jean Grey is also standing behind Cyclops in the middle of the living room. So now everybody's confused. And that's how they ended episode 2. This how you come back after 30 years. That's all I'm saying. This how you bring heat after 30 years of absence. You come out and do things like this. Like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. What are we talking about? Come on, man. Anyway, X-Men 97. Fire comeback after 30 years. The way they've been showcasing different mutants' abilities. They finally cut Bishop's hair and gave him the actual black person's haircut. Respect. Because that 80s mullet shag thing he had going on in the original animated series was not it. Especially considering he was supposed to be from the future. Like, fam, who's still rocking that? So they finally gave him a black haircut. Shout out to Bishop. They showcased him a couple times. You could tell they're really taking their time and showing their level of care. The original cast, those that are still left and alive from the original cast, came back to do the voice acting, and it's just been a phenomenal ride. And we only 2 episodes in, man. That's the crazy part. We're only 2 episodes in, and it's already filled with dopeness. So I don't even think I need to give it a rating, but I'm gonna give it a rating because it's Razor's Reviews. 10 out of 10, man. 10 out of 10. First 2 episodes, 10 out of 10. The story was fire. Episode 2, episode 1, this action sequences and the story and just everybody, squad coming back. It was just dope, man. 10 out of 10. Y'all gotta watch X-Men 97, man. Comment below, like the video, share the video, comment below, chop it up with me in the comments, and let me know how you feel about X-Men 97. Let me know if I'm bugging. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you're gonna wait till the whole season finished to watch it, or if you're gonna watch it every week. Probably do an episode 3 review sometime soon. Probably get that up before episode 4 drops. But yo, it's free soul to the soul free. Let's get it.